My Lord Lieutenant, Your Worship, the Mayor and Mayoress of Sefton, Mr. Hewer, Master of the Merchant Taylors' Company, Mr. McGill, Vice Chair and Governors, Head Teachers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, school. Once again, we gather for our annual prize-giving ceremony in these illustrious surroundings, amongst friends and supporters. We are here to celebrate and applaud all that has been achieved by the school during the last academic year. I would like to start by offering my welcome to our guest of honour, Mr. Nick Hewer. Mr. Hewer is enjoying a varied and highly successful career, from a public relations trainee who eventually bought out the company for which he was working, to PR consultant for Alan Sugar's technology company, Amstrad. Best known, of course, for his work in the media, Mr. Hewer is also a member of the Merchant Taylors' Company and a liveryman. He is also an ambassador for the National Literacy Trust, and in these roles, he visits schools to help to promote business initiatives, as well as working to improve students' communication and employability skills. Nick, we are delighted that you have found time in your very busy schedule to be our chief guest this morning and present our prizes, and we're all very much looking forward to hearing your presentation later in these proceedings. The academic year of 2016-17 was one which heralded much change in the examination systems of this country. The reforming of A-levels to remove modularity, the bite-sized chunks approach to examinations, with the opportunity for resits, brought Level 3 qualifications full circle to the nature of A-levels which I sat, and which will be a familiar experience to many others in this hall today. The linear approach to A-levels is being introduced on an incremental basis, but summer 2017 saw the first examinations of this nature in many of our core subjects. Despite the inevitable increase in demand, last year's upper six did themselves proud. 65% of all grades were at A star to B, and we had a 100% pass rate. It is important to bear in mind when considering these results that we at Merchant Taylors believe strongly in the teaching and learning of traditional, rigorous subjects at A-level. Another important fact which headline figures will never reveal is the value added by the dedication and hard work of our staff. Each year we receive detailed analysis which shows us how we perform as a school in the sixth form. Boys' GCSE results are used as a benchmark for measuring the progress that they make at A-level, and then comparisons are made with the national picture. We consistently perform in the top quartile by this measure, meaning that boys' performance places them in the excellent bracket compared with other schools nationally, and shows us that the academic performance of our pupils is consistently higher than expected across the full range. This is a team effort, of course, but is in no small part down to small class sizes and the dedicated subject specialist teachers who lead them. On behalf of all boys and parents present today, I would like to add my heartfelt thanks to those of Mr. Evans, to every member of staff for everything that they do to facilitate the success of our pupils. Another revolution affected GCSEs this year, with the introduction of a new grading system for some subjects. At Merchant Taylors Boys, our English language and literature GCSEs were assessed on a 9-to-1 scale for the first time. Again, there is an incremental approach to the introduction of this, with most other subjects taught here being assessed this way in 2018. Evidence would suggest that the boys and staff are managing this transition without any trouble. 1/3 of all our grades at GCSE this year were at A star 8 or 9, the very top grades. And this is exactly the same percentage of A stars achieved by the previous year group under the old system of assessment. Of course, we're a school that focuses on so much more than academic excellence. The opportunities which we offer to boys outside of the classroom are second to none. I've looked at our gold books for the last 3 terms, the academic year that we are reviewing today, and these tell the story of a very busy school. 375 competitive fixtures against other schools in 9 different sports. It's worth remembering here, of course, that each of these represents a team, squad, or crew which will have been training for weeks beforehand and, on each occasion, will be accompanied by a member of staff. 4 major school productions, 4 major school concerts, including one in this very hall, 12 Duke of Edinburgh expeditions, 5 CCF camps, and 10 trips to overseas destinations for sporting or educational purposes, including Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Greece, Spain, France, Ireland, and the battlefields of World War I. You might wonder why staff give up their time in order to offer these opportunities. Believe me, as one of the teachers who spent 2.5 weeks in Madagascar this summer, eating little more than rice and beans, using a bucket of cold water for a shower, and a hole in the ground for depositing what remained of those rice and beans, the same question crossed my mind. And then I remembered the 30 boys that we had with us, and what a once-in-a-lifetime experience that expedition was for each of them. They were lucky enough to engage in frontline conservation research, working with postgraduates, experts in their field. We had the opportunity to experience a culture far removed from the comfort and luxury that we so often take for granted. As well as being confronted with some difficult social realities, boys were also challenged physically. The days were long and the work was hard. However, boys came away from that expedition with a broader outlook on the world, as well as memories that will last a lifetime. Staff genuinely believe in the benefits that come from these extracurricular activities. Boys will grow into better men by challenging themselves on the stage, on the sports field, or on an expedition. They will acquire new skills and learn a lot about themselves and others. We are all in this job because we enjoy working with young people, and staffing these activities allows us to get to know our charges in a very different context to the formal relationship of the classroom.